Welcome back, everybody. Today we're really going deep on this one. Rich Dad's Guide to Investing by Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh, yeah, this one's a classic.
It is, and we talk about personal finance a lot on this show, but I think this one um, really kind of takes it to another level.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really about like building wealth, not just, managing your money.
Yeah, it's not about clipping coupons.
Exactly right.
This is about building a system for real wealth generation.
Yeah, and he really challenges a lot of the conventional wisdom.
He does. He's not afraid to kind of shake things up.
Yeah, like the whole idea of job security. He really questions that.
Yeah, he says, in today's world, investing in a company that's laying off workers can actually be more profitable than having what you think is a secure job.
Right, because when companies are, downsizing, quote unquote, their share prices often go up.
Exactly, and that benefits the investors.
So it's like there's this whole other game being played that most people aren't even aware of.
Absolutely, and that's what he calls financial literacy.
Okay, so it's not just about luck or being born rich. It's about understanding how the system works.
Exactly. And this is where so many people get tripped up. They think a house with a mortgage is an asset.
Right.
But he argues it's actually a liability because it's draining your cash flow every month.
Oh, that's a big mindset shift.
It is. It's about understanding what a real asset is, something that puts money in your pocket, not takes it out.
Okay, so that's a really different way of looking at it.
Yeah, and he talks about these key ratios like debt to equity. It compares how much a company owns versus how much it owes.
Oh, okay. So it's like checking someone's credit score.
Exactly. It's a measure of their financial health.
So understanding these ratios can help you make smarter investment decisions.
Absolutely. And he actually breaks down the world of investors into three main categories. You have your accredited or qualified investors who are already wealthy, but they often rely on others to manage their money.
Okay, got it.
Then there are the inside investors.
Okay.
These are the entrepreneurs who are building businesses, creating their own opportunities, right? The risk takers.
And then there's the sophisticated investor.
Okay, that sounds like the top tier. What makes them so special?
The sophisticated investor combines wealth with experience and knowledge.
Okay.
They're really able to analyze and control their investments for maximum returns.
So it's not enough to be rich. You have to be financially smart and active.
Exactly. And Kiyosaki argues that the path to becoming a sophisticated investor often starts with becoming an inside investor.
Okay, so starting your own business.
Exactly. He says you don't need to start big. Look at Michael Dell building computers in his dorm room, or Jeff Bezos starting Amazon out of his garage.
Yeah, those are some pretty inspiring examples.
Right, it shows you don't need a ton of capital up front, just a good idea and the drive to make it happen.
And then once you have a successful business, you've got options like reinvesting profits or selling the business or even going public.
Exactly. You've created something of value that can generate wealth in multiple ways.
So building a business isn't just about income, it's about creating opportunities. It's like planting a seed that can grow into a whole financial ecosystem.
I like that analogy.
And Kiyosaki gives us a framework for making it happen. He says, building a successful business comes down to three things: mission, team, and leadership.
Okay, let's break those down. What does he mean by mission?
It's about having a purpose that goes beyond just making money.
Okay, more than just profits.
Right. Like Henry Ford, his mission wasn't just to sell cars, it was to make them affordable for the average person.
So it's about making a difference.
Exactly. It's about having a bigger why that motivates you.
Okay, makes sense. What about team?
Successful leaders know they can't do it all themselves. They need to build a strong team.
Right, having the right people around you is essential.
Absolutely. And finally, there's leadership.
Okay.
It's not about being a boss. It's about inspiring others to achieve their full potential.
So it's about bringing out the best in people.
Exactly. He encourages people to seek out leadership opportunities, even in things like volunteer work.
So you can develop those skills.
Right, because mission, team, and leadership, those are the pillars of building a successful business.
Okay, that makes sense. But there's another piece of the puzzle that he talks about: communication.
Oh, yeah, he's big on communication.
Why is that so important in business?
Because it's essential for everything from pitching investors to motivating your team to selling your product.
Oh, I see. It's all connected.
It is, and he actually recommends network marketing programs.
Really?
Yeah. He says it's a great way to learn how to communicate clearly and overcome the fear of rejection.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of that.
It's like boot camp for your communication skills.
Okay, I can see how that could be valuable.
And it's not just about what you say, it's also about how you present yourself.
Okay, your errands.
Exactly. He tells a story about a bank president who was hired primarily for his look and demeanor.
So it's the whole package: words, body language, even how you dress.
It all plays a role in creating a positive impression and building trust.
So communication is really key.
Absolutely. And once you've mastered these skills by building a business, you're well on your way to becoming that sophisticated investor we talked about earlier.
Now things are getting really interesting. So how does building a business prepare you to be a better investor?
Because it gives you a deep understanding of how companies operate.
Okay.
You learn about financials, operations, marketing, the whole picture.
So you're not just reading about it in a textbook, you're experiencing it firsthand.
Exactly. It's like getting an MBA through real-world experience.
I like that. And he illustrates this with an example, the story of Bill and Jane's restaurant.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
He shows how setting up separate corporations for the restaurant and the building can minimize risk and create tax advantages.
Oh, so it's about structuring things strategically.
Exactly. He's saying don't just work for your money, make your money work for you.
Right.
And that brings us to one of his biggest critiques of traditional retirement planning.
You mean the 401k?
Yeah, he says while it might seem safe, it's also very limiting. A sophisticated investor would diversify their portfolio with things like real estate stocks, even starting their own businesses.
So it's about understanding that different investments have different levels of risk and reward.
Exactly. And a sophisticated investor isn't afraid to take calculated risks,
Okay.
especially once they've honed their financial literacy and gained experience.
So it's all about education and experience.
Exactly. Those are the keys to becoming a successful investor.
This has been super insightful already.
I agree. Kiyosaki's ideas are really challenging in a good way.
Definitely makes you think differently about money and wealth.
Absolutely.
We've only scratched the surface here. There's so much more to explore in this book.
Yeah, we'll have to do a whole series on this one.
Maybe we should. But for now, we're going to take a break and come back with part 2.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're back. And, one of the things that really stood out to me in this book is Kiyosaki's view on real estate.
Yeah, he's got some pretty unconventional ideas about that.
He doesn't buy into the whole, your house is your biggest asset thing.
Right. He actually argues that for most people, their primary residence is a liability.
Yeah, I can see how that would be controversial.
It is, but it goes back to his definition of an asset, something that puts money in your pocket.
Okay.
And a house, especially one with a mortgage, usually takes money out every month.
Right, with the payments and the taxes and all that.
Exactly. So unless it's generating rental income or appreciating significantly in value, it's not really working for you financially.
So it's more like a lifestyle choice than a true investment.
That's a good way to put it, and it's a tough concept for a lot of people to grasp because we're so conditioned to think of home ownership as the American dream.
Right, it's like a status symbol almost.
Exactly. But Kiyosaki wants us to think beyond that and focus on building true wealth.
Okay, so if he's not a fan of pouring money into a primary residence, what does he recommend when it comes to real estate?
He's a big advocate of rental properties.
Okay.
Properties that generate positive cash flow.
So you're making money every month.
Exactly. And he stresses the importance of understanding the numbers behind a deal like the capitalization rate.
Okay, now we're getting into the technical stuff.
Yeah. But it's important. He wants people to be educated investors, not just blindly buying properties.
So you need to do your homework.
Absolutely. Analyze the numbers, assess the risks, make informed decisions.
This is where that financial literacy comes in again.
Exactly. You need to be able to speak the language of investing.
Otherwise, you're just gambling.
Right. And he talks about how the whole system is kind of set up to favor those who already have wealth and knowledge.
Yeah, like those accredited investors we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. They have access to opportunities that most people don't even know about.
So it's like an exclusive club.
In a way, but Kiyosaki's mission is to open that club up to everyone.
By giving them the knowledge and the tools they need.
Exactly. He wants to level the playing field.
That's a great goal. And another thing that he challenges is the traditional view of retirement planning.
Yeah, the whole 401k thing.
Yeah, like save diligently and hope for an 8% return.
He says that's playing it too safe.
Really?
Yeah, he thinks a sophisticated investor would diversify their portfolio much more.
With things like real estate and stocks.
Exactly, and maybe even start their own business.
So it's about taking calculated risks.
Exactly, not just sticking your money in a low-yield savings account.
Okay. And he also talks a lot about learning from experience.
Yeah, he thinks that's more valuable than just reading books or taking courses.
Oh, interesting.
He says building a business, even a small one, gives you an incredible financial education.
Because you're actually doing it.
Right, you're making decisions, facing challenges, figuring things out as you go.
So it's like a real-world MBA.
Exactly. And you can apply those lessons to your investing as well.
Makes sense. And another key concept that he keeps coming back to is taxes.
Oh, yeah. He's big on understanding the tax code.
Why is that?
Because he sees it as a game.
A game.
Yeah, a game that can be played to your advantage.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
He says the winners in the game of wealth are the ones who understand the rules and how to use them strategically.
So it's not about cheating the system.
No, it's about playing by the rules, but playing smart.
Okay, so what are some of the tax strategies that he recommends?
Well, for example, business owners can write off a lot of their expenses.
Okay.
So they're not paying taxes on all of their income, just their profits.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
And he encourages people to get professional advice from accountants and lawyers who specialize in this stuff.
So you're building a team of experts to help you navigate the system.
Exactly. It's like having a coach in your corner.
Okay, I like that analogy. And speaking of coaches, he also talks a lot about mentors,
Oh, yeah. Finding someone who's already achieved what you want to achieve.
right? Like a role model.
Exactly. Someone who can guide you and give you advice.
Help you avoid the mistakes they made.
Exactly. And he also emphasizes the importance of patience and long-term thinking.
Okay, so no get-rich-quick schemes.
Definitely not. He's all about building wealth sustainably over time.
The slow and steady approach,
Exactly. He believes in the power of compound interest.
where your money makes more money.
Right. It's like a snowball effect.
Okay. And he also encourages people to invest in themselves.
Yes, not just their money, but their education, their health, their relationships.
So it's about living a rich life, not just having a lot of money.
Exactly. He wants people to have the freedom and the resources to pursue their passions.
Okay, so it's about more than just financial success.
Right. It's about creating a life of purpose and fulfillment.
I like that. And finally, he talks about giving back.
Yes. Using your wealth to make a positive impact on the world.
Okay, so it's not just about taking, it's about giving back,
Exactly. He wants people to think about their legacy.
what they leave behind.
Right. It's about making the world a better place.
I think that's a great message to end on.
It is. Kiyosaki's work is really inspiring.
It challenges you to think differently about money and wealth.
And life in general.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
but there's still more to come.
Yeah, we've only scratched the surface.
So stay tuned for part 3, where we'll dive even deeper into Rich Dad's Guide to Investing.
And start putting these principles into action.
That's right. We'll give you some practical tips and strategies to start building your own path to financial freedom.
That's good.
All right, so we've talked about a lot of really big ideas from this book, and I think it's time to kind of bring it all together.
Yeah, let's distill it down to some key takeaways.
Exactly. Like, what are the things that listeners can actually, walk away with and start applying in their own lives?
I think one of the biggest ones is that whole shift in mindset about assets and liabilities.
Yeah.
It's not just about the numbers, it's about how you view wealth.
Right. It's not about, looking rich. It's about actually having your money work for you.
Exactly. And one way to do that is by focusing on generating passive income.
Income that comes in even when you're not working.
Right, like rental properties or dividends from stocks or royalties from a book you wrote.
So it's about creating a system that generates money automatically.
Exactly. And that's where financial literacy comes in.
Right. Because you need to understand how to build that system.
You need to know what to invest in, how to manage your money, how to make smart financial decisions.
And that's something that anyone can learn.
Absolutely. It's not rocket science. It just takes time and effort.
And the right mindset.
Yes, Kiyosaki talks a lot about the difference between a scarcity mindset and an abundance mindset.
Okay, I've heard of that. What's the difference?
Scarcity mindset is like believing there's only so much pie to go around, so you got to grab your slice before it's gone.
Okay.
Abundance mindset is believing that the pie can keep growing, so there's enough for everyone.
Oh, I see. So it's about seeing opportunities instead of limitations.
Exactly. And that can make a huge difference in your financial life.
And he also talks about the importance of being proactive, right?
Yeah, he's not a big fan of just sitting around and waiting for things to happen.
Right. He wants you to go out there and create your own opportunities.
Start a business, invest in real estate, learn a new skill.
Take control of your financial future.
Exactly. And that can be scary.
Yeah. Putting yourself out there is always a little bit scary.
But Kiyosaki says that fear is just part of the process.
Okay.
The most successful people are the ones who face their fears and overcome them.
So it's about embracing the challenge.
Exactly. And he also talks about Finding your tribe.
Oh, yeah, surrounding yourself with supportive people.
People who believe in you and your goals.
And mentors.
Yes, finding people who've already achieved what you want to achieve.
Right, so you can learn from their experience.
Exactly. Mentorship is so valuable.
It is. It's like having a shortcut to success.
And finally, I think it's important to remember Kiyosaki's message about giving back.
Yeah, using your wealth to make a difference in the world.
It's not just about accumulating money, it's about using it for good.
Leaving a positive legacy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what true wealth is all about.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I agree.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have Kiyosaki's book is packed with insights.
It is, and we hope this has inspired you to check it out for yourself.
Yeah, there's so much more to learn and explore.
And we encourage you to keep learning, keep growing, keep pushing yourself to achieve your financial goals.
Because financial freedom is within reach for anyone who's willing to put in the work.
That's right. So thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Rich Dad's Guide to Investing,
It's been a pleasure.
and we'll see you next time.